The Journey of Wisdom Through Compulsive Behavior, Addiction, and Recovery, Part 3 and 4. Part 3, Going Deeper, the Folly and Salvation of Our Human Natures. To restate, our journey of wisdom is through our four human natures' existential jungle of narcissistic arrogance, willful disobedience, self-delusion, and empty hearts as identified by classical philosophy, spiritual worldviews, and professional psychology. I believe the primary context for our condition is due to how we interact with the principal dualistic qualities of existence. The dense, dark, intoxicating pleasures of physical matter, and the light, illuminating, ambrosial joy of divine spirituality. Depending on our hereditary, karmic, and cultural patterns, we cultivate a relationship with pleasure that ranges from renunciation to addiction. When we go deeper into understanding what our quixotic nature is all about, we must come to terms with our quixotic dilemma, where we are called to directly confront ourselves and to ask ourselves at a deep level, what do I really want? And our wisdom-free, purposeful nature can bring us to dire circumstances. There is a great cost to having a disobedient free will that runs roughshod over Mother Nature and abandons our indigenous co-creative relationship with her. We must learn to engage our reality from a new perspective of not being in charge of people, places, circumstances, and events. Our authentic nature is driven to find the underlying truth of what it all means. And I understand the primary wisdom objective of our authentic nature is to explore the wisdom elements in us that deepen self-understanding. As our wisdom journey takes us deeper into self-management, self-acceptance, and self-transparency, we discover that we become intimately involved with the self-transcending power of our sublime nature. Wisdom methods. Given their tendency to be misled by the guiles of life, it is clear that our quixotic and purposeful natures need to cultivate a wisdom anchor. Accepting the perspectives of Milton, Young, and Emerson, and as I now know unequivocally, wisdom serves as an anchor in life. Further, when we are left on our own, without wise guidance, we face severe challenges. In the process of surrendering our self-centeredness, our quixotic nature will have to rely on our authentic and sublime natures to learn to accept life as it is and not as we want it to be. This will require both our quixotic and purposeful natures to put on a cloak of humility, which is the primary feature of our sublime nature. Cultivating a wisdom anchor, a stages of change model. One important resource that helps to illustrate the motivational change processes by which our four human natures can acquire wisdom is introduced in the book Changing for Good by Prochaska, Norcross, and De Clemente. The authors introduce a 6-stage model which affirms and validates the reality that we change as a result of diligent practice and steady progress, rather than through repeating quick-fix platitudes. The motivational processes of change defined by Prochaska and others have been widely adopted in the clinical treatment of compulsivity and addictions, and their ideas have become mainstreamed. Additionally, related to wisdom's journey as the subject matter of this presentation, Prochaska and other stages of change model is in itself a prescription for understanding how wisdom and therefore healing is cultivated. Our four human natures are motivated to move through Prochaska and other 6 stages of change accordingly. During pre-contemplation, the first stage, we are not ready for change, and this is due to our dominant, quixotic, and purposeful nature's habits that trust and willfully depend on our past dysfunctional behavior. During contemplation, the second stage, we are thinking about change, and this is due to our dominant, quixotic, and purposeful natures learning to trust in change and becoming willing to change our past behavior. During preparation, the third stage, we develop a plan for change, and our purposeful nature identifies specific tasks for change. During action, the fourth stage, we are led by our purposeful and authentic natures, where we take deliberate actions for change that lead to ego confrontation and self-awareness. During maintenance, the fifth stage, our dominant, authentic, and sublime natures sustain our changes while growing in self-knowledge and engaging with life on life's terms. And during termination and transcendence, the sixth stage, we experience permanent change and manifest new personality characteristics, while our now dominant, sublime, and authentic natures are engaged in deepening spirituality and ego transcendence. Through our self-management and self-acceptance, which can be cultivated through the 6 motivational stages of change, our quixotic, purposeful, authentic, and sublime natures are joined in wisdom, and we experience deeper meaning in life. But make no mistake, even in a life of high virtue, the dramatic conversionary events that occur when we search for truth are soul-wrenching. In my personal life experience, I have had to explore some horrific places in myself in order to experience episodes of pure self-recognition. I now realize more deeply that my inner pilgrimage was truly sacred, taking me to the ancient center within myself. Part 4, Transformation and Transcendence. Since struggle is inevitable on our wisdom journey, I understand that we must accept the integrative, unitive relationship between pain and pleasure in existence. Even though we may understand the inevitability of duality in existence, the balance we seek between the opposites often remains elusive. We must acknowledge that there is a lot of emotional and cognitive stuff to sort through in our basic human natures to gain a sense of reconciliation between the extremes. And I've come to know that there is a middle ground, that there is a place of reconciliation between extremes, and that is what I seek. There is an intense point of neutrality where there is neither want or greed, deprivation or entitlement. I understand this to be the point of balance, harmony, and sufficiency. This increase in meaning is related to our attaining a sublime sense of loving receptivity to life through a more discriminating and trusting quixotic nature, while simultaneously experience more fullness in life through our purposeful and authentic natures. The central wisdom idea for all 4 of our basic human natures is this: we reach the integrative, evolutionary goal of our human natures by gaining mental balance, emotional harmony, and spiritual illumination.